You've been thinking for too long, over-analyzing, doubting, waiting for the perfect moment, the right feeling, the right sign. And while you wait, your future slips through your fingers. Because nothing changes when you think. Everything changes when you move. Thinking isn't progress. Planning isn't action. Talking about your goals isn't building them. The truth is, most people lose because they never leave their heads. They get stuck in overthinking, paralyzed by fear, addicted to potential. But potential is worthless if it never becomes execution. You want discipline? Start now. You want clarity? Move through the fog. You want strength? Stop waiting to feel ready. Act before you're confident. Because the man who takes imperfect action beats the man who thinks perfectly but does nothing. Billionaire minds don't wait. They move with urgency. They execute in silence. They don't trust doubt. They bury it with momentum. You think they were always sure? No. They were just committed to action, even when everything inside them said, wait. You owe it to yourself to stop watching, stop thinking, stop scrolling, and start building, right now. Even if you're not sure, even if it's messy, even if it's small, start. Because momentum is louder than doubt, and action destroys fear faster than any amount of thought. And if this hit you, if this woke something up, subscribe right now. Because this is the moment you stop preparing and finally begin. That voice in your head, the one telling you to wait, to rest, to rethink. It's not wisdom. It's weakness, disguised as logic. That voice sounds smart, careful, calculated, but all it's doing is protecting your comfort, not your growth. You say you'll start when things feel right, when life calms down, when motivation returns, but that moment never comes. Because the voice knows, if you ever act despite fear, it loses control over you. So it keeps talking, keeps delaying, keeps pretending to be on your side. And every time you listen, you betray your potential. You're not tired, you're undisciplined. You're not confused, you're stalling. You're not lost, you're afraid of starting small. And the longer you let that voice speak, the louder it gets. You want to kill doubt? Starve it. Ignore the thoughts and feed the movement. Don't negotiate with fear. Don't argue with laziness. Don't explain yourself to comfort. Get up, move. Even if it's ugly, even if it's slow, even if no one notices, especially when no one notices. You don't owe your inner voice an explanation. You owe your future a result. So next time that whisper shows up, don't answer. Let your discipline speak for you. Let your actions be louder than your excuses. Let silence crush the voice that's been holding you back. You don't need more confidence. You need momentum. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move anyway. Because that voice, it's not your guide, it's your cage. You've been taught to wait for motivation, to expect some magical burst of energy to get you moving. But the truth is brutal. Motivation is inconsistent. It's emotional. It's weak. And if you rely on it, you'll be average forever. Because the men who win don't move when they're inspired. They move because it's required. The winners, the obsessed, the unstoppable, they're not motivated every day. They're disciplined. And discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't stop for weather, for critics, or for comfort. It shows up. It executes. It delivers. Every single time. The man who trains without motivation will crush the man who waits for it. The one who builds in silence will always beat the one who only works when it's exciting. Discipline is your weapon. It's what separates the dangerous from the distracted, the focused from the fragile. You're not here to feel good. You're here to finish, to become something greater than your mood, to build a life that doesn't collapse when you don't feel like it. That happens when you act out of principle, not emotion. So next time you think, I'm not motivated, remember, that thought is irrelevant. You move anyway. You train anyway. You build anyway. Because your goals don't care how you feel. Your future doesn't depend on how inspired you are. It depends on what you do when you're not. And the man who acts without motivation, he becomes unstoppable. Because nothing owns him, not feelings, not doubt, not fear, only discipline. Anyone can look focused when people are watching. Anyone can post a quote, share a routine, say the right words. But the real test, the real strength, it shows up when there's no one to impress, no one to clap, no one to validate. Just you and the choice to keep going or quit. That's where discipline is born. In silence. In the dark. In the lonely hours when the voice in your head says, it doesn't matter. But it does. Because every rep you do alone, every hour of work no one applauds, every day you show up without recognition, you're becoming someone they won't be able to ignore later. People don't see your transformation in real time. They don't understand what you're building until it's too late, until you've already become unshakable, and by then, they'll call it talent. They'll say you were lucky, but you'll know the truth. You'll know about the days when you worked in silence, when you trained through pain, when you kept going without a single person believing in you. That's what makes you dangerous, that you didn't need validation, that you didn't need applause, that you became unstoppable in the dark. Because if you can do it when no one's watching, you'll dominate when everyone is. So stop performing, stop waiting for permission, stop measuring progress by recognition. The world rewards results, not potential. And the man who trains when no one's looking, that's the one who wins when everyone is watching. You think you have time, that you can keep thinking, planning, overanalyzing, that someday things will align and you'll finally start. But every day you hesitate, every day you overthink, every day you wait, you're stealing from the version of you that's trying to be born. The one who's sharper, stronger, more disciplined. That man doesn't live in your head, he lives in your actions. The longer you stay in thought, the more you delay his arrival. And the world? It doesn't care about your potential, it cares about execution. So while you sit still, someone else is moving. Someone else is sacrificing. Someone else is waking up early, doing the work, building what you keep talking about. And that's the painful truth. You're not losing because you're not good enough. You're losing because you're not moving. Discipline is what bridges who you are and who you could be. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how clear your vision is, or how bad you want it. If you don't act, none of it means anything. All you're doing is building a future of regret, one wasted day at a time. You say you're not ready. But readiness doesn't come before action. It comes after. You build confidence by doing. You build clarity by trying. You build strength by showing up when it's messy. That's how men rise, not by waiting, but by walking into uncertainty and creating the path as they go. So here's the question. How much longer will you rob your future self? How many more mornings will you give to doubt? You owe that man, the one who never got a chance to become real, something better. And the only way to pay that debt is to move now. How many times have you said, tomorrow? How many plans have you made in your head that never left your mouth? How many mornings have you opened your eyes and already felt defeated? Not because you were weak, but because you've spent years rehearsing instead of executing? This is what most people never understand. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Time is not your friend. Time doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your insecurities. It doesn't care how good your intentions are. It just moves. And if you don't move with it, it will leave you behind. That's not meant to scare you. That's meant to wake you up. Because right now, while you're thinking, someone else is doing, someone else is becoming what you keep saying you want to be. And the difference between them and you? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not opportunity. It's action. Relentless, disciplined, unshakable action. You think you need more time. You think you need more clarity. But what you really need is a decision, a firm, final, no-turning-back decision to become the kind of person who moves, who acts, who shows up even when it's hard, even when it's uncertain, even when no one believes in him, especially then. Because that man, the one who moves without needing validation, who trains without needing attention, who builds without guarantees, that man becomes unstoppable. Not because he had everything figured out, but because he chose to rise when it mattered. Because he refused to let doubt be louder than his discipline. You don't need to believe in yourself to start. You just need to start. And the belief will come. The confidence will grow. The discipline will take over. But only if you stop waiting, stop planning, and start doing. So today, right now, in this exact moment, you have a choice. Keep living in your head, or step into your life. Stay average, or become the weapon you were born to be. The world doesn't owe you a thing, but you owe everything to the man you could become. If this message hit you, don't scroll, don't save it for later. Leave a comment right now. Let the world know you're done thinking and you're ready to build. And if you're ready to train your mind like a machine, to act without hesitation, and to rise while the world sleeps, subscribe now. Because greatness doesn't start with a plan. It starts with a moment. And this is yours.